The most powerful phrase in life, but especially fitness or business, is stop being a pussy. Stop being a pussy. One of the coolest things about being a strength coach is that not only do my customers not get mad at me for telling them they're being a pussy, but they actually appreciate it. This is actually what they pay me for. They love it because it helps them. All right. Because I'm not one of these coaches who, when somebody does what they're not supposed, doesn't do what they're supposed to do, says, "Oh, it's fine. We'll get it next time. Just live your life. It's okay." If you're doing something and I think that the problem is just that you're being a bitch, I'm just going to tell you that you're being a bitch. And that's what you need to do to fix the problem. A lot of the times, that's just what the problem is. All right. And I'm honest with my clients about that. So, look, all the time, I run into people who that is what is holding them back in life. Okay. It may sound crass, but it's true. Because there's a lot of people that I talk to in the DMs who they'll message me and we'll talk and they'll say, "Oh, I need to lose 50 pounds, man. I'm overweight. I need to start taking this seriously." I'm like, "Okay, cool. Sounds good. Well, what's been your problem so far?" "Well, accountability and I don't know what to eat and I don't know how to train." I'm like, "Well, okay, well, here's how I'd have you eat. Here's how I'd have you train, and here's how I hold you accountable. Does that sound like it would help you out?" "Oh yeah, man, absolutely. That would be awesome." "Okay, cool. Well, I mean, you've seen the other guys I've done this for, right?" "Yeah, dude, like you helped that guy lose 100 pounds. You helped that guy lose 50 pounds. I'm like, "Yeah, man, I know what I'm doing, right?" They're like, "Yeah, absolutely, man." I'm like, "Okay, cool. Well, like, you want to do it?" They're like, "Well, and this is where they fish for the reason. They fish for the excuse that they then want me to validate. So the first thing typically is they're like, "Well, how much does it cost?" And I'm like, "Well, hold on. Like, you just got done telling me this is a 10 out of 10 problem for you. Like, this is the most important thing in your life because losing 50 pounds is going to make you feel better, look better. Your wife's going to want to bang you again. It's going to give you more energy to do all the things you need to do at work. It's going to make your knees stop hurting. Like, this is priceless." But anyways, yeah, like, here's the price. And by the way, it's not exorbitant. And then of course, inevitably, they'll say, "Oh, well, we're remodeling the house right now. Oh, we just had a kid. Oh, work's been a little slow." And I'm like, shut the fuck up. All right. Okay. Pull up your bank statement. What? Yeah, pull up your bank statement. Let's look at your bank statement. Show me everything on your bank statement for the last month that you purchased that you didn't need. And not only didn't need, but probably was harming you and keeping you from your goal. Fast food, Starbucks, Netflix, this other stupid thing you didn't need. What if you just took that money and then you just put it into this thing that is actually not just neutral, but going to serve you? And then then there's the next excuse, right? Okay, this video is not about like me being your trainer, okay? Like, you don't need me to be your trainer. This video is not even about losing fat. It's not even about fitness. This video is about the vast majority of people don't want to solve their problem. The vast majority of people, the vast majority of men, aren't really men. They don't actually want to solve their problem. They just want external validation for their excuses as to why they can't solve their problem. They just want somebody else to coddle them and say, "Oh, it's okay. Yeah, I know you can't do it. It would be so good if you could though, huh?" That's what they want. They want to be able to sleep at night. They want somebody else to tell them it's okay that they're a fat piece of shit. And it's the same thing with business, okay? Because look, I'm not a gajillionaire, but I have had some amount of business success. And when I started realizing that I had like a repeatable, sustainable process of like making money, building a brand, acquiring clients and that kind of stuff, a few people hit me up to do business coaching for them, to do mentorship. And I took a few people on and I denied a few people. And the reason I denied them was for the same reason. Because people would come to me and they would say, "I want to quit my full-time job. I have this business idea. I want to do this thing." And like, I'm the kind of guy that's about it, dude. Like, if I want to do something, I'm going to fucking do it. Or I'm not, and then I'm just going to shut the fuck up about it. But so many people come to me and they say they want to do this thing, but they don't want to do the thing. They just want me to hear the reasons why they can't, so they can feel better about their own lack of success. All right. So, oh, what's your business idea? Oh, it's, like this thing. Oh, cool, man. Well, like, how come you haven't done it? Well, and they're fucking stoked to tell me why they can't do it or why they haven't done it yet, right? Like they're just waiting for this. That was why they DM me. Well, I got kids. Oh, I have kids. Oh, this guy makes $1 million. He has kids. Well, I work 12 hours a day. Oh, well, dude, that's funny because my buddy actually works 14 hours a day and he just, made $100K this month. Well, just like, look, the problem is not that all those things that are impositions are impassable. The problem is that you are not willing to put in the work to get past them, okay? When you see a problem, you have two options. One, you can scrap the whole thing and give up, which is what most people do, which is what men do who make me want to fucking vomit. It makes me like literally throw up my mouth when I talk to a grown man like that. It's like, not only do I not want to take you on as a client, like I don't even want to be your friend. I don't even want to talk to you because I think you're a worm and you're going to drag me down because of your just like mediocrity and stagnation in life. Like I just think those people are disgusting. Or you could see it as an imposition that needs to be solved. When I have a problem, I don't go, oh yeah, well, I'll just throw it all away. No, I say like, okay, yeah, this sucks. So that's out of the way. Now we don't have to complain about it anymore. We recognize that it sucks. Now we don't have to fucking talk about it sucking. And now we can figure out a solution. Okay, so there are two types of men. The ones who make excuses and the ones who get shit done. And this stuff might sound corny, but it's true. There are literally just two types of people. All right, so it either comes down to like you're going to do the thing or you're not going to do the thing. Okay, and with training, like it's not even a lot of the times it's about money, okay? Because then, like, I used to get to the point, and I don't do this anymore, but like when I was first starting out, I didn't know anything about business, and I would give people discounts, right? And they would say, well, I can't afford that. And I'd say, well, fine. Like, what if I like did it for, I don't know, do like half that price? Well, I just like, I hurt my shoulder, dude. So, I got the shoulder thing. I'm like, well, we'll just do neutral grip presses then. Well, like I'm going on vacation next month and I just should probably start when I get back from vacation. Like, dude, shut the fuck up. Just get out of here. Like, don't even talk to me. Like, you're not a serious person. You should not be allowed to vote. Like, that's how little I value you at this point. Like, if you, man, you just stop being a pussy and do the thing, or just don't do the thing. Because I don't even care, dude. Like, if you don't want to grow your business, if you don't want to get in shape, like, I don't care, dude. If you're happy being poor, if you're happy being fat, if you're making a decent wage and you have a pension and that's okay with you, like you love your job, then fine. But don't come to me and tell me you want to do something different because you're like fantasizing and then you just want somebody to, validate all the reasons you can't do it, okay? I'm not interested in it, all right? And then the other thing happens is like when people a lot of times are like not willing to take any risk, okay? And that's something that I learned very early on, like in my sort of like foray into business, right? Is that you have to take risks if you want great success. In fact, it's a complete necessity. All right. So yeah, like there is going to be a point maybe where your business grows and you have to eventually quit your full-time job because that's what's throttling you. That's what's stopping you from reaching the next level in business. All right. Like for instance, I had one business mentorship client who was making about like $7K a month at his day job. And we got to the point where he was making $10K a month on his business. And we had like an obvious system in place that could scale and get him to doing like $20,000 months. And it was clear as day, right? It was like, it wasn't even a question. But it was like pulling teeth, getting this guy to quit his job and take a little bit of risk to then grow his business. And you know what I had to tell him? Stop being a pussy. And you know what he did? He quit his job and he went all in on his business and he started making $20,000. Like, yeah, could it have failed? Could it have ended up in the homeless shelter? Yeah. Look, if you want to tell me like, I can't grow my business anymore because I have too much responsibility. I have kids. I have to have the security blanket. Fine, dude. But then just don't tell me about it after that. Like, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear all the reasons you can't. Like, I'm not judging you. Like, if you're the kind of person that values that security and that's just the life you want to live, and you want to be mediocre or whatever, like however you see it, like cool. But don't fucking tell me that you want to quit your full-time job, and then when the opportunity presents itself, you bitch out. Either do it or don't. Right? Like, going back to this, like, you know. Going back to this, you can either see things as impossible or see things as like a challenge to overcome. It's like, I think the reason that it disgusts me so much is because I think about, like, if I was, I know this sounds weird, but if I was like a soldier in the Middle Ages and, I'm like, oh man, there's only 300 of us, but like, God, there sure are a lot of Roman soldiers coming at us, dude. Let's just go home. Let's just, hey, we should just surrender. It's better if we just live as a slave to the Romans than like risk all getting slaughtered. Like, that guy's a liability, right? Like, we got to fucking kill that guy or he's going to like drag the morale of the unit down so much that we're all going to die. Maybe that's why. Maybe it's a blood memory. All right. But seriously, like, I just can't relate to those people. Okay. Because like, I see problems as challenges to overcome. I see them as a game. Like, everything in life that's a challenge is a game, all right? And we have to be growth minded. We have to be like forward oriented. And I think that you either have that in you or you don't. And it has nothing to do with like fitness or business. It's just who you are, right? It's who I am. Okay, like when I'm 80 years old, if I live that long, which I probably won't because I'm like obviously so stressed out by these people. But if I live that long, yeah, maybe fitness won't be the priority. Maybe making money won't be the priority because I'm a freaking gazillionaire for my business ventures. But maybe I'm a philanthropist now. Maybe I'm somebody who has some cause that I'm passionate about, and I'm going to be like growth oriented toward that. I'm going to want to further my cause till the day I die. No matter what I'm doing, it's just a mindset that I have, and it's the mindset that you have to have if you're going to be successful. And that's why I, frankly, filter people out so much when it comes to business mentorship or comes to coaching, because I want to surround myself with people who are like that, because those are the people that are going to help me launch forward. Okay, like, you can't surround yourself with people who have like a stagnant mindset and then expect yourself to be able to achieve more, okay? Because those people are going to drag you down. All right, you have to invest things to take things to the next level. Yeah, you have to invest risk, and sometimes you have to invest time, and sometimes you have to invest physical money, okay? So like some of the times when people are, they want to train, sometimes the objection is time. And so they'll say, well, I just don't have time to train. I have kids, they have sports. And I'm like, all my clients have kids. All my clients have full-time jobs. Well, I'm just so busy. It's like, everybody's busy, dude. And in fact, if you train more precisely, you need less time in the gym. Because if you're going to the gym 5 days a week and just like throwing a bunch of shit at the wall and hoping something sticks, doing a bunch of junk volume, like, yeah, that's going to take a lot of time. But the ironic thing is that when people sign up with me and I start coaching them and figuring out exactly what their body needs to move to the next level, it takes less time because now we're using a scalpel and not a sledgehammer, right? So now we're in the gym 3 days a week for 45 minutes at a time. And then the next excuse comes out of the woodwork because it's not actually about the thing. It's not about the objection. It's that they want an excuse. There is always a way. And again, you're either one of these people that will find a way, or you're one of these people that will just make excuses. All right. And so it's like, okay, pull up your screen time, dude. Oh, 3 hours of scrolling, but you don't have time to go to the gym for 45 minutes? Shut the fuck up. Just go away, dude. Like, fucking block me, please. And sometimes they will. Like, I'm very abrasive, and I have a business partner who tells me that I'm too abrasive and that we lose sales, we lose clients because I'm too much of a dick. But I'm actually doing them a favor because I'm saving them from having to work with people that are going to get bad results and hurt a reputation because they're fucking pussies that aren't going to put in the work no matter what. And like, if money wasn't the objection, then they just wanted to throw money at the problem so that then they could find some other reason why they weren't successful. I've seen it a million times, okay? And then with business, sometimes it's that people don't want to invest money in growing their business, right? Like, a great example. If you're a fitness coach and you have 50 clients and you're still sending your clients workouts through spreadsheets, you are going to cap the amount of clients that you could get. You're going to cap the amount of business that you can do, okay? Because you can only send so many spreadsheets, okay? So if you have 50 clients, you're capped out on time. Or you could use software like TrueCoach, which allows you to then, do things more efficiently, and now you can have 150 clients. But guess what? It costs $300, and so many business owners are like, well, I don't want to, well, that's $300. I could just do what I'm doing right now. But it's like, yeah, but then you can't grow, right? Like I had a business mentorship client who was running a landscaping business. He was doing all the jobs himself, and it was taking all day, and he couldn't, like there was no way he could grow his business because he had no energy or time to get leads and do marketing, and like no creative energy to like grow his business, right? Not just actual time, but actual energy as well. Like no mental bandwidth because he was so focused on fulfillment. And so it's like, dude, you have to hire somebody to do these jobs. You have to hire somebody to do these tasks. You have to hire somebody to do fulfillment, to actually do the landscaping. He's like, well, that's going to cost money. Well, it's like, yeah, but like you're going to invest $2,000 into that employee, but then that is going to allow you to then make $20,000 because of what you're going to be able to do. Like you have to be thinking more long-term. You have to think of long-term ROI when it comes to this stuff. It's the same thing with fitness. Like whether it's time or money, is it going to cost you money to work with a trainer? Yeah. Is it going to cost you time to go to the gym? Yeah. But when you are 70 years old and you're able to play with your grandkids, or you feel amazing about the way that you look, and that, in a secondary way allows you to be more confident in business meetings or approaching people, or just people respect you more because like when people see you, now you're kind of like in command, right? Like you have to think of the ROI there. Like if that lands you one client that then makes you $50,000 in your business, like that was a worthy investment, right? So stop thinking short term. Start thinking about like the end goal and the long-term benefit of the things that you want to accomplish, okay? Like you can't think about the upfront cost. And I learned that very on in business. Like I paid for things, like I reinvested every penny that I made in the first like 4 months of running my business into growing the business, because I realized that if I invested money and time in an intelligent way, the growth was endless, right? And it worked. Like, I went from making basically nothing as a trainer to doing $80,000 months, simply because I knew that I needed to invest time and money into things that would then allow me to grow more, okay? Because I'm in pretty decent shape. I'm not the most jacked guy. I'm not the most charismatic guy. I'm not the best at video production. This video sucks. The lighting sucks. The sound probably sucks. My head's probably fucking chopped off in the frame. Like I'm just in my house with the shitty, stupid wall and the dumb whiteboard that was like $30 on Amazon. But like I realized that I had to do stuff. I had to invest time. I had to invest money to produce something. And that's another good point. Like I suck at content creation. Guess what? Do I say like, oh, well, I suck at content creation, so I guess I'll just never grow my coaching business? No. I realized that was the thing I needed to solve. And I hired somebody to help me with content creation like 2 weeks ago. And now it's probably going to lead to my business being better because I'm fixing a problem. That's what men do. If we have a problem, we fix it. Okay, that's what you do if you're a man. You don't throw your hands in the air and say you can't do it. You don't see the legion of Romans coming at you and say, well, I guess we'll just be slaves forever. It's like, no, dude, you pick up your sword and you fucking fight. And like, yeah, there's a risk. Yeah, maybe you'll die. You'll probably get slaughtered. Like your head's probably going to end up on a pike somewhere. But if you don't take that risk, the alternative is that you live in mediocrity. You live as a slave, whatever. If that's what you want to do, fine. That's not me. That's not who I want to surround myself with. So you have to tell yourself when you have those moments of doubt to stop being a pussy. Screenshot this, make this your phone background, put this up somewhere in your house, buy a shitty $30 whiteboard on Amazon, and repeat to yourself when you have these doubts, stop being a pussy, and then start brainstorming about what the problem is. Okay, like, yes, the situation sucks. Cool, we're done complaining. Now we can focus on how do we solve this problem. Turn it into a game. Turn everything in your life into a game. Okay, like, oh, I'm on level 2 and I can't beat the boss. Like, oh, I'm going to figure out how to beat the boss so I can get to level 3. Or I'm just going to put the game away. And probably 90% of people in the world are just going to put the game away. Yeah, probably 90% of people in the world are just going to be pussies and they're just going to live how they've always lived. But there are that 10% of people who will see it as a challenge and then figure out a solution to the problem, okay? So I implore you, if you need to lose 50 pounds, if you want to grow your business and quit your full-time job, if you want to be successful at something, you have to figure out a solution. Will it take some amount of risk? Yes. In fact, I have a friend who said in one of his YouTube videos, he said, I intentionally moved into an apartment that I couldn't afford because it lit a fire under my ass. I knew it would light a fire under my ass to then grow my business and take it to the next level. Could he have ended up in a homeless shelter? Could he have failed catastrophically, gone up in a blaze of glory and been totally destroyed? Absolutely. But you know what? He did that thing. It lit a fire under his ass and he took things to the next level. Okay. I'm not saying you have to be reckless. I'm not saying you have to quit your full-time job right now when you have no money. Like, yeah, you can mitigate the risk and there can be some level of balance there. But in the end, you're going to have to take some level of risk. Okay. So don't come to me and say, well, I have responsibilities. I can't do that thing. It's too risky. Fine, dude. Fine. I'm not even judging you. If you don't want to do that, then just don't do it. All right. But don't come to me and say that you want to do the thing. And then when I tell you what the solution is, then you come up with the next reason why you can't do it. Okay. Because that's the theme. All right. It's very rarely about the thing that you're saying is the problem. It's not the money for the training, right? You just like to use the excuse of money because it's such a taboo subject. And most people have such a, poor relationship with the word money that when you say that, you're pretty sure that somebody's going to say, oh yeah, you're right. That's a good reason why you can't do it. And yeah, you definitely can't. And I'm not going to say anything because money's a taboo subject and I'm an asshole and arrogant if I say that, money's not a good reason. So no, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say shut the fuck up, dude. You're just making up a reason because even if I gave you this thing for free, if I gave it to you for free, you'd probably take it and then you wouldn't do anything with it. Okay. Because in the end, you just don't want to do it. And then I'd message you a week later and say, hey, why aren't you doing the workouts? And you would say, well, I've just been busy at work. I've heard it all, dude. So it's never about the excuse. It's about you just don't want to put in the work. You just don't want to do the thing. You just want somebody to validate why you can't do it, okay? And I don't want to hear it. It's disgusting to me. I hope you block me. I hope that I piss you off so much when I say that you block me, okay? Because I don't want to be around you either. And in fact, I've given people their money back. I've told people no. I've had people come to me and have all these excuses and have all the money and pay me and then later give me the excuses for why they can't do the thing. Or I've given it to them at a discount. When I was less business savvy and I would give people discounts before I realized that the actual reason was something else, right? So anyways, 2 options. Throw your hands up in the air and fucking quit. Don't lose the weight. Be a fat shit for the rest of your life. Don't start the business. Be mediocre or poor or whatever for the rest of your life. Cool. You think there's some kind of virtue in being poor? Fine. You're just saying that because you don't want to achieve the thing, okay? You think that being fit is vain. Fine. It's not really. You don't really know. You know it's not. You just don't want to achieve the goal, right? You just don't want to put in the work. So those are your 2 options. Be mediocre, which, by the way, my entire brand is I work with high-performing men. What I mean by high-performing men is forward-thinking men. I don't literally mean men who have a 6-figure business or men who bench press 400 pounds. I mean men who have a fire lit, who have a mentality, who have that fire in them, who have it within them that they aren't going to settle for mediocrity for the rest of their lives. So I work with high-performing men who push forward and never settle, who don't settle for mediocrity. Those are the guys that I work with. Those are the men that I want in my circle, the men that I want around me. I don't want to be around the guys who make excuses, okay? Because that is going to drag me down. It's going to suck the energy out of me and suck the energy out of everybody else around us, all right? Anyways, I'm wrapping this up. Most powerful phrase that you could say to yourself for everything in your life, every endeavor, is just stop being a pussy.